Most supplements are louder than they are useful. Creatine may be different. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to explore whether creatine is actually a miracle, a total myth, or something you should seriously be paying attention to. It's not sexy, it's not rare, and it's definitely not some secret molecule harvested from a remote mountain village. It's just a boring white powder that your body already makes and that scientists have been studying for decades. And honestly, that is exactly why it's so fascinating.
But before we jump right into the data, just a quick note. I'm your narrator, here to calmly guide you through the evidence. Now, this presentation was prepared by Dr. Thomas Hocker, a Harvard and Mayo Clinic-trained triple board-certified dermatologist, Mohs surgeon, and dermatopathologist, and reviewed for up-to-date accuracy on July 4th, 2026. Keep in mind, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes only, not personal medical advice. Always check in with your own doctor, especially if you have kidney issues or take meds that affect your kidneys.
Okay, so to separate the proven biological facts from the marketing fiction, we're going to systematically grade the claims around creatine using an evidence tier list. We've got section 1, the varsity tier, 2, the all-star tier, 3, the junior varsity tier, and 4, the scrub tier. Right, let's dive in. To understand all these claims, you kind of need to know how creatine actually works in the body. I want you to think of creatine like a tiny rechargeable battery inside your cells. Your cells use this molecule called ATP as their immediate energy currency. Now, during short, really intense bursts of effort, like a heavy lift or an all-out sprint, your ATP gets completely used up in just a matter of seconds. By topping off your cellular battery, creatine instantly recycles that ATP to give your muscles and your brain quick energy. It's essentially a fast pass for cellular energy under intense demand. Section 1, the varsity tier. This represents the undeniable, most rigorously proven slam dunks, supported by decades of research.
Creatine's home turf is significantly improving strength, power, repeated high-intensity efforts, and lean mass. But there is a massive caveat here, so listen up. It only builds lean mass when it's paired with resistance training. It's an amplifier for the work you're already doing in the gym, not some magic couch pill. And just as importantly, it maintains a very strong safety profile in healthy users. It doesn't damage healthy kidneys. Now, speaking of kidneys, it is absolutely crucial to understand something we call the creatine lab trap. Taking creatine safely raises your blood creatinine as a natural byproduct. This is completely normal. It's benign, but it can sometimes be misread as kidney impairment on standard blood tests by your doctor. It's just a false alarm caused by the supplement converting naturally, which is exactly why you always want to keep your clinician in the loop about what supplements you're taking. Moving on to section 2, the all-star tier. This tier highlights highly promising and meaningful benefits for specific populations and stressful scenarios. So, creatine isn't just for bodybuilders. There is actually excellent evidence showing selected brain benefits for older adults, particularly for memory. We also see cognitive rescues for sleep-deprived individuals. Think about it. When the brain is stressed and needs quick energy, creatine steps in to help maintain reaction time and mood. And we see really pronounced overall benefits for vegetarians and vegans. Why? Well, they naturally have lower baseline creatine stores because they don't eat meat. When you fix that bottleneck, the results are highly visible. Furthermore, creatine is a highly promising strategy for aging women. It's safe and effective across the lifespan, specifically for postmenopausal strength and lean mass when combined with resistance training. Too often, creatine gets viewed as this male-only gym supplement, but the data clearly shows it's a critical health span tool for women who want to preserve their physical independence as they age. All right, section 3, the junior varsity tier. Here we find plausible but unproven areas where human clinical evidence is still a bit early or mixed. So what about all those newer headlines? Things like concussions, bone health, and skin cell biology. Well, while there is some truly fascinating preclinical and laboratory data suggesting creatine helps with concussions, improves bone geometry, and even offers skin cell UV protection, these remain entirely theoretical. Without rigorous human clinical trials to actually back them up yet, we're just not at the point where we can recommend it for those outcomes. Finally, we reach section 4, the scrub tier. This is where we ruthlessly debunk the loud, unsupported marketing hype that's just wasting your money. Despite the wild internet hype you might see, there are literally 0 human trials proving creatine prevents Alzheimer's disease. Yes, the brain energy biology is super interesting, but claiming it prevents dementia is entirely unsupported. Also, it is not some guaranteed nootropic brain booster for young, healthy, rested people. And to reiterate a really vital truth, it absolutely will not build muscle if you don't actually exercise. No way around it. And please, do not fall into the product trap of the supplement aisle. Avoid expensive liquid creatine. It's highly unstable and quickly degrades into inactive creatinine while it's just sitting there on the shelf. Skip the unverified gummies and ignore fancy forms like creatine ethyl ester that completely fail to beat the basic standard. Flashy packaging is not proof of efficacy. So, what's the actual move here? Plain creatine monohydrate powder, taken at 3 to 5 grams per day. That is your ultimate evidence-backed, stable, and cheap default. You don't need a complicated loading phase, just a simple, consistent 3 to 5 grams a day mixed into a glass of water. Honestly, the cheapest, most boring option is actually the best one.
Which brings us to the ultimate conclusion of this explainer. Buy boring, train consistently, creatine is useful, not magic, but it really does make you wonder, with so much hype floating around the fitness industry, what other boring, scientifically backed habits are we completely ignoring?